So, ran across this in my news feed that Israel and their Benjamin Netanyahu wants to help Mexico and their economy grow. They're striking deals to do that. They're also providing Mexico the technology that they also use in Israel as far as tunnels. You know how they tell you that the Palestinians dig tunnels from their part of the city into Israel, and they go in there and bomb and all this other stuff they claim goes on. So they've perfected like these underground sonars or ways to read, and figure out where these tunnels are, where the weak points are, and stuff like that. So it was just something I was thinking about. If things get so bad in America, people try to build tunnels to go under there. Why does why does Mexico, out of all of them, need that technology to be able to detect where the tunnels are? You know what I'm saying? You would think the United States wants that information. So I just thought that was interesting. But to me, it's almost a red flag, because we're trying to become, like the Bill of Rights says, secure in our persons and in our papers. And it's just fishy that now, out of this whole entire time, like he says, this whole entire time that their Israel has been a nation, they've never visited Mexico. But now all of a sudden, Mexico, he states is a good economy, one of the world's best, and all this other stuff. So let me play this and try to shut up as much as possible. I want to let you know it's fair use, So if this gets flagged, I just want to let you know I'm using it for educational purposes. Let me take it back a little bit.
No Israeli Prime Minister.
I can't do anything about the volume.
Mexico, for that matter, any other Latin American country since the founding of the State of Israel. It's time to correct it. I'm proud to be the first Israeli Prime Minister to correct this. It was never appropriate, but it's particularly inappropriate now when it's very clear that Latin America itself has a great future, and then Mexico is one of the great economies of the world.
You hear that? Listen to those words. Latin America has a great future. That's South America. Because one thing I was just explaining to Arthur, not explaining, but just pointing out, because he knows a lot of this stuff. But I was learning that in South America they speak more Latin than they do Spanish, and in Mexico they speak Spanish, and of course it gets twisted at a certain point, but yeah, Latin America is everything in the South America, and Mexico, obviously.
In the opening dozen, and by clear and I think responsible estimates, it will move not merely into the top 10, but further down. That means up. And we in Israel want to do business with Mexico. Our firms are here. We have about 150 firms already in Mexico.
See that? Don't you find that just all suspicious? Why does Israel, come on, you pissed and moaned about dominating the Middle East and how you need to control all this stuff about the Middle East, and you got all these, pastors, these Zionist pastors talking about protecting Israel, but yet you're more worried about, making sure you have a great relationship with Mexico. Doesn't that say anything to you? Isn't that a red flag to anybody? Like, why aren't you worried about making, the Middle East, supposedly safer and all that sort of stuff? You're worried about Mexico and South America. Think about that. Think about that. Those of you that remember when Lex taught us way back when about, what was it, the Solomon's Third Temple in Brazil. Think about that. I'm saying, really, just stop and think of what serves him at all to make sure that Mexico and Latin America has a good relationship with the people that call themselves the Jews in Israel. Out of all times, when we're over here waking up, now they're going to come over there. Now, what do you think that's going to do for the conversations? What do you think that does for the message, for us trying to get the message out that, we're awake and we know who we are? I mean, look how they already treat people that live in Israel that look like you and I, that say that they're, of Jewish descent. Or the Jews, I'm sorry. Think about that. Think about this. This could actually be a really big problem for us down the future and down the road.
There's a delegation that came with me, Mr. Minister, with the help of our distinguished ambassadors. I want to thank you, Ambassador Pellet, and you,
I'm sorry, you probably can't hear it. It's so low, but just check this out. There's a few other videos over here about him and his visit, and there's some articles here too. You could always read. I just find it extremely odd, that 2017 now is all the time that he chooses to do that. One of the other things I just wanted to point out, right? We've all spoke about this in the book of Jasher by now, where it says that, and the Lord smote the 3 divisions that were there, and he punished them according to their works and designs. Those who said, we will ascend to heaven and serve our hold on, let me make sure. I want to put emphasis on this. We will ascend to heaven and serve our gods. Gods. All right? Became like apes and elephants. Right? This is crucial right here. Because what I found is this. All right? Now, I've probably shown this in the past, but I just want to, do this one more time. Because there was an image that I had seen that was really interesting. I wonder if this, I want to get a good look at them, because I want you to see, this is all India stuff, right? This is stuff out of India. This isn't confused for Africa. This isn't, the old definition they used to give us, or they confuse us with Ham is the father of the dark-skinned race, but not the Negro. When Lex broke down Genesis 10, right, with the Britain Septuagint, right, and they showed us who the people are in the world today. Man like apes, right? The whatever the watchers, the fallen angels that tried to build the Tower of Babel from the book of Jasher, and they were struck into apes and elephants and stuff like that. Where do you think they got this from? They're in India. And you gotta think about that, right? These aren't Africans doing this. I mean, you got the Dogon people in Africa mimicking it. But I mean, you got people in India that have gods that reflect this. There was this one image I wanted to show you where they actually were passing stones. Here. There's another one where there's like a whole line of them behind him, and he's marking them with some type of marking. See that? See that? And there's a whole line of them just passing the stones off, and to look like they're building a bridge of stones to an island somewhere, which might have been to the tower, or who knows. But I mean, to me, this just like reconfirms that the people they call Canaanites, the people they call Cham, his descendants, they don't look like that. They don't look like us. They don't look like an African. I think that this is, like what Lex was pointing out. They look Middle Eastern, Hinduish, whatever. Then you really got to sit back and ask yourself something like this, right? When we see all those pictures of those white folks with those tails and stuff coming out their back, are they like what Judge Joe Brown said in that one interview, that the Persians built the white man, white woman? Just questions I got, I love to see answers. Anyways, take care, everybody.